What if I told you that right now, your body is secretly wasting away, even if you feel perfectly fine? Shocking, I know. By the time most people hit 80, they've lost half their muscle mass compared to their younger years. House. But here's what your doctor isn't telling you. This massive muscle loss isn't inevitable. I recently met John, an 84-year-old who can deadlift more than men in their 40s. Meanwhile, his friends struggle to get out of chairs without help. What's his secret? Scientists at the Mayo Clinic and Harvard Medical School discovered it, and I'm going to share exactly what they found. Hit that like button and subscribe if you want to maintain your independence well into your 80s and 90s. And stick around until the end. I'll reveal the #1 daily habit that's been proven to reverse age-related muscle loss, even if you're already in your 70s. But first, let me ask you, do you know someone who seems decades younger than their actual age? Tell me in the comments where you're watching from and if you know a super-ager in your life. Let's dive in. The silent muscle thief, sarcopenia. The medical term for age-related muscle loss is stealing the independence of over 50 million seniors worldwide right now. It's the reason more than 300,000 elderly people end up hospitalized from falls every year. But here's where it gets interesting. Groundbreaking research in the Journal of Physiology discovered something that changes everything we thought we knew about aging. Some people in their 70s and 80s have maintained the muscle strength, function, and appearance of someone decades younger. While their peers struggle with everyday tasks like climbing stairs or carrying groceries, these super-agers are still hiking mountains, playing sports, and living completely independent lives well into their 90s. The most shocking part? When tested against people half their age, these seniors often score better on strength tests. Let that sink in. But we've been told all our lives that losing strength is just part of getting older, right? Well, that's what 93% of seniors believe. And it's dead wrong. The secret your doctor won't tell you. I need you to understand something crucial. Most doctors never tell their elderly patients about the scientifically proven habits that can help them regain lost muscle mass well into their 70s and 80s. In fact, and this might surprise you, Harvard Medical School researchers found that many doctors' recommendations actually contradict what science has proven to be essential for preserving strength as we age. I'm about to show you 7 research-backed habits that can dramatically slow or even reverse age-related muscle loss. But the first habit, probably something you're doing incorrectly every single day, could be the difference between enjoying your golden years on your own terms or becoming dependent on others. This common mistake is accelerating your muscle loss by activating genes that normally wouldn't be active. But don't worry, I'll show you exactly how to fix it. Before we continue, if you're finding this information valuable, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. It helps more people discover this life-changing information. Now, let's get to those 7 age-defying habits. Habit number 7, hormetic stress, the paradoxical strength builder. Here's something that might sound crazy. The strongest 80-year-olds regularly expose themselves to specific types of stress. This isn't just any stress. It's what scientists call hormetic stress. Hormesis is a fascinating biological phenomenon where exposure to low doses of something that would be harmful at higher doses actually produces beneficial effects. Literally, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, especially for your muscles. Studies from the Buck Institute for Research on Aging found that brief exposures to certain stresses trigger powerful cellular defense mechanisms that preserve and even enhance muscle function in people well into their 80s. So what exactly are these beneficial stressors that super-agers use? The first is temperature variation. Short exposure to cold, like ending your shower with 30 to 60 seconds of cold water, or taking brief cold plunges, activates brown fat, increases mitochondrial biogenesis, and triggers adiponectin, a hormone that protects muscle tissue from breakdown. Saunas work similarly, activating heat shock proteins that protect and repair muscle cells. A fascinating Finnish study found that people who used saunas 4 to 7 times weekly for 10 years had 40% less muscle loss than non-sauna users. That's almost half. The second hormetic stressor is time-restricted eating. Super-agers often limit their food consumption to an 8 to 10-hour window each day. This practice enhances mitochondrial activity in muscles by up to 10% in just 12 weeks without causing weight loss. It triggers autophagy, the cellular cleaning process that removes damaged components and keeps muscle cells functioning optimally. The third is brief, powerful muscle contractions. Instead of long workouts, super-agers often do overcoming isometrics, pushing or pulling against immovable objects for 5 to 10 seconds at maximum effort. These short but intense contractions signal muscle cells to stay large and active without stressing the joints. The key to making these stresses work for you is their intermittent nature. They must be brief and followed by adequate recovery time. When properly applied, these controlled stresses activate longevity genes like FOXOs and sirtuins, which are specifically designed to maintain muscle mass as we age. Remember, start small and build tolerance gradually. You're aiming for gentle, beneficial stress, not overwhelming your system. Habit number 6, strategic protein timing. The window of opportunity now. While most seniors worry about how much protein they eat, research suggests when you eat protein might be even more important. Scientists have discovered a phenomenon they call anabolic resistance, the gradual decline in protein utilization that happens as we age. And here's where most seniors make a critical mistake that's costing them their strength. Pay close attention, because this might be the most important part of the video. Every 3 to 4 hours after a meal, a window of opportunity for muscle protein synthesis opens in your muscles. Most seniors make the fatal mistake of getting all their protein at dinner, which means they're missing multiple opportunities throughout the day to build muscle. The solution? Spread your protein intake evenly throughout the day, aiming for 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein at each meal. Instead of cereal or toast for breakfast, try eggs, Greek yogurt, or a protein smoothie. Continue this pattern with lunch and dinner using lean meats, fish, dairy, or plant proteins like lentils and beans. This simple scheduling technique alone can enhance muscle protein synthesis by up to 25% in just 12 weeks. In a groundbreaking University of Texas study, participants who followed this method gained an average of 1.2 pounds of muscle without changing anything else about their lifestyle. It's not just about eating protein, it's about eating it at the right times to maximize your body's ability to use it. Habit number 5, optimizing vitamin D. The muscle vitamin. Did you know that there's a vitamin so crucial for muscle strength that scientists call it the muscle vitamin? And shockingly, more than 80% of seniors are deficient in it. I'm talking about vitamin D, the quiet killer of strength when you don't have enough of it. Here's something your doctor probably never told you. Vitamin D does far more than nourish your bones. Harvard University scientists discovered that vitamin D activates specific genes involved in muscle building and synthesis. Your muscle cells contain vitamin D receptors that, when triggered, set remarkable processes in motion. A groundbreaking study in JAMA Internal Medicine found that elderly people with optimal vitamin D levels had 25% greater muscle strength than those with insufficient levels. They also showed markedly improved reaction time, coordination, and balance, all critical factors in preventing falls. While vitamin D deficiency is defined as levels below 20 nanograms per milliliter, super-agers who seem to defy aging almost always maintain ideal levels above 40 nanograms per milliliter. So how do you optimize your vitamin D levels? While sun exposure helps, its effectiveness decreases as we age. Our skin's vitamin D production drops by 50% between ages 20 and 65. The standard daily recommendation of 600 IU is woefully inadequate for most seniors. Research indicates that most seniors need 2,000 to 4,000 IU daily to reach optimal levels, though this should be customized based on blood testing. Include vitamin D-rich foods like fatty fish, egg yolks, and fortified dairy, and try to get 15 to 20 minutes of direct midday sun exposure when possible. One crucial warning: high-dose vitamin D supplementation without adequate vitamin K2, found in fermented foods and certain animal products, can lead to arterial calcification. This often overlooked nutrient interaction could be the deciding factor in your success. Ask your doctor for a blood test to determine your current vitamin D status, then aim to maintain levels above 40 nanograms per milliliter to preserve your muscle strength. Habit number 4. Managing inflammation. The silent muscle killer. What's the one thing virtually all super strong elderly people have in common? Surprisingly low levels of inflammation. Researchers have recently identified inflammaging, chronic low-grade inflammation, as a key driver of muscle loss in older adults. This quiet inflammatory process causes muscle protein to break down faster than your body can replace it. But that's not all. Inflammation also blocks the anabolic signals that normally stimulate muscle growth in response to exercise and protein intake. A landmark study from Tufts University found that seniors with the highest inflammatory markers lost muscle mass 3 times faster than those with the lowest levels, regardless of their protein intake or exercise habits. 3 times faster. So how do super-agers who maintain youthful strength keep inflammation at bay? First, they prioritize quality sleep, going to bed at the same time each night and sleeping in a completely dark room. Sleep deprivation can accelerate muscle atrophy by increasing inflammatory cytokines by as much as 40%. Second, they pay careful attention to gut health. New research from the University of California shows that age-related changes in gut bacteria directly drive systemic inflammation. Super-agers' diets include diverse plant foods, 30-plus varieties per week, fermented foods containing natural probiotics, yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, and a wide variety of fiber sources consumed daily. Third, they strategically plan workout intensity. While regular movement is essential, super-agers avoid daily high-intensity workouts that can exacerbate inflammation. The typical super-ager exercises at moderate intensity most days, with brief high-intensity intervals just once or twice a week. Finally, they regularly consume specific anti-inflammatory compounds. Omega-3 fatty acids, 2 to 3 grams daily from fatty fish or supplements, curcumin, turmeric, and polyphenol-rich foods, berries, green tea, extra virgin olive oil. UC researchers discovered that age-related shifts in gut bacteria can increase inflammatory markers by as much as 29% in just 12 weeks. A simple blood test measuring high-sensitivity C-reactive protein, hsCRP, can help you monitor inflammation. While the average senior has levels 3 to 5 times higher, super-agers typically maintain levels below 1.0 milligrams per liter. Habit number 3, targeted micronutrients. The forgotten helpers. While most dietary recommendations focus on macronutrients like protein, carbs, and fats, super-agers with remarkable muscle strength pay special attention to specific micronutrients that facilitate protein synthesis and muscle function. These essential nutrients act as enablers. Without them, no amount of protein or exercise will prevent muscle loss. Magnesium tops the list, dubbed the forgotten electrolyte for muscle health by University of Vermont researchers. This mineral is essential for over 300 enzymatic reactions involved in muscle function, yet more than 70% of seniors are deficient. A 2021 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors with adequate magnesium levels had 30% stronger grip strength and significantly higher physical performance than those even slightly deficient. Super-agers typically supplement with highly bioavailable forms like magnesium glycinate or threonate, and regularly consume magnesium-rich foods like dark leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and dark chocolate. Next is creatine. And no, it's not just for young bodybuilders. McMaster University research showed that creatine supplementation significantly improved older adults' muscle mass, strength, and cognitive function compared to strength training alone. A daily intake of 3 to 5 grams enhances muscle energy production and water content in muscle cells, creating an anabolic environment. Methylated B12 is another critical nutrient that gets overlooked. As we age, stomach acid production declines, reducing our ability to absorb B12. Worse, commonly prescribed medications like proton pump inhibitors and metformin severely deplete this vital vitamin, which affects both neuronal function and muscle energy generation. Super-agers typically supplement with the active form, methylcobalamin, rather than the cheaper cyanocobalamin found in most multivitamins. Equally important are mineral cofactors like zinc, selenium, and chromium, which facilitate protein synthesis and insulin sensitivity, crucial for transporting nutrients to muscle tissue. A comprehensive Tufts University study found that optimal levels of these trace minerals were associated with a 22% increase in muscle mass maintenance over 5 years. Rather than relying on a generic multivitamin, super-agers often use micronutrient testing to identify their unique nutritional gaps and supplement accordingly, saving money by avoiding unnecessary treatments. Habit number 2, preserving neuromuscular connections. The missing link. Here's a fascinating fact most seniors don't know. When muscles atrophy, it's not just the muscle fibers themselves that decline. Often the weakest link is the connection between your muscles and your nervous system. Neuromuscular junctions are like the power outlets that supply electricity to your muscles. When they begin to degenerate, which happens at an accelerated rate after age 60, no amount of protein or exercise will help if your brain can't communicate with your muscles. New research from the University of Michigan shows that exceptionally strong super-agers have far better neuromuscular connections than average seniors. Even more exciting, researchers have identified specific behaviors that can preserve or even repair these vital links. First, focus on coordination and precision movements. Studies show that activities like Tai Chi, dancing, tennis, or even ping pong enhance brain pathways to muscles better than regular strength training or walking. These activities require your nervous system to recruit muscle fibers in specific patterns. A 2020 study demonstrated that older adults who participated in coordination-demanding activities twice weekly preserved neuromuscular connections 31% better than those who merely exercised conventionally. Second, consider compounds that support neuromuscular health. Evidence suggests that alpha-lipoic acid and acetyl-L-carnitine can prevent oxidative damage to the nerve-muscle connection. Even more promising, certain forms of B1, like benfotiamine and huperzine, found in Chinese club moss, can boost acetylcholine, the primary neurotransmitter responsible for muscle activation. Some super-agers use breathing techniques that stimulate the vagus nerve, which helps regulate neuromuscular transmission. Simple practices like box breathing, inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, can increase neural activation of muscles by up to 15% in just 5 minutes daily. Perhaps most intriguing is the connection between mental activity and neuromuscular preservation. A landmark Columbia University study found that older adults' muscle function was significantly better preserved when they regularly engaged in challenging cognitive activities. Since the brain and neuromuscular system share many neural pathways, the researchers discovered that brain training had a direct positive effect on the neuromuscular system. By implementing these neuromuscular preservation techniques, super-agers maintain strong brain-to-muscle connections well into their 80s and beyond, allowing efficient muscle fiber recruitment regardless of age. Habit number 1, progressive resistance training. The ultimate age defier, we've finally reached the most crucial habit, the one that Tufts University experts called the most powerful anti-aging drug ever discovered. The super-agers, whose strength levels defy their chronological age, combat the biological processes of muscle atrophy through targeted progressive resistance training, but not in the way most seniors approach it. Here's a fundamental truth most seniors never learn. Your muscles function on a use-it-or-lose-it principle, with a crucial caveat: to maintain them, you must progressively challenge them. Sticking with the same light weights week after week, going for walks, or doing water aerobics simply won't be enough to preserve muscle mass after age 60. What makes super-agers' approach different? First, they focus on intensity, not duration. Groundbreaking research from McMaster University found that 2 weeks of high-intensity resistance training to the point of failure produced greater muscle gains in seniors than 5 weeks of moderate-intensity exercise. The key is reaching transient muscle failure, the point where you can't perform another repetition with proper form. This triggers protein synthesis in the muscles for up to 72 hours after exercise by sending powerful anabolic signals. Second, super-agers emphasize compound movements that engage multiple muscle groups simultaneously. Modified versions of squats, deadlifts, rows, pushes, and pulls, designed with mobility and joint health in mind, generate a stronger hormonal response than isolated movements like bicep curls or leg extensions. Third, they implement progressive overload, gradually increasing the difficulty over time. Using the same weights month after month leads to stagnation because muscles adapt to whatever stress you place on them. Super-agers track their workouts and push themselves to do slightly more each session. Fourth, they emphasize the eccentric, lowering portions of exercises known to be particularly beneficial for strengthening elderly muscles. Lowering weights slowly creates more tension on the muscles without stressing the joints. Remarkably, this approach works even for late starters. A revolutionary University of Alabama study showed that older adults who began a 12-week progressive resistance training program increased their strength by 35% and added an average of 3.3 pounds of muscle. Along with these impressive physical changes came improvements in cognitive function, bone density, and blood glucose control. So what's the most common mistake seniors make? Many believe resistance exercise is too dangerous or old-fashioned for them. The real danger lies in avoiding resistance training, which is essential to prevent further muscle loss, increasing the risk of frailty, falls, and independence issues. If you take just one thing from this video, make it this. Start progressive resistance training. If you're unsure, work with a trainer initially, then build up to an intensity appropriate for your fitness level. Just 2 30-minute sessions weekly can profoundly impact how quickly you age. The path to lifelong strength and independence. There you have them, the 7 research-backed habits that explain why some 80-year-olds maintain remarkable muscular strength while their peers struggle with basic daily activities. 1. Progressive resistance training that builds over time. 2. Preserving neuromuscular connections. 3. Taking targeted micronutrients daily. 4. Managing inflammation every day. 5. Optimizing vitamin D levels. 6. Strategic protein timing. 7. Beneficial hormetic stress. Choose one habit you can easily implement today, then gradually incorporate the others. The effort you invest now in building your strength and independence will pay dividends for decades to come. Now I want to hear from you. Are you currently practicing any of these 7 habits? Which one surprised you the most? Is there an elderly person in your life who possesses remarkable strength for their age? Leave a comment below sharing your thoughts and experiences. I read every single one. If you found this information valuable, please hit that like button, subscribe for more content like this, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Thank you for watching. Your future strong, independent self will thank you for investing this time today.